and welcome. The sun's come out. Lovely to see you all. Happy Monday. We're going to have a little focus on a series of movements called the 10 mindful movements today. So they will be sort of most of our class. It's quite a lovely series by Thich Nhat Hanh. Well, he performs it in a little village in the south of France called the Plum Tree Village. So for today, we're going to find our comfortable place in our chair, letting ourselves connect and ground, and we'll start tuning into the breath. So let the chair support you, let the feet connect with the earth, roll the shoulders back and down the back, and then maybe close the eyes or gaze softly down. I've got my microphone and it's digging into the bit of my, there we are. It's a little minor technical adjustment. Okie dokie. So beginning to be aware of your breath. So noticing how your breath is flowing today. Beginning with just some observation. And then beginning to lengthen the breath, smoothing out any rough edges. Evening the distance, the inhale and the exhale, so the length of the breath. Feeling the breath soothing the body. Feeling the breath creating calm. Creating a sense of space, stillness, peace. We'll take 2 more long, slow breaths here. One more. And then if your eyes are closed, you can flutter the eyes open. We're going to start, before we do our mindful movements, we'll do some gentle movement into our head and neck. So starting with just a dropping of the chin down towards the throat. Start with a slow nod, so chin down. As you breathe in, a little lift of the chin, extending through the throat. Don't scrunch the back of the neck up too much. Chin down, dropping the chin. Breathe in, extend and open. Our throat space, our throat chakra, our ability to speak clearly, to speak and be heard. Chin down. Lift the chin one more time. And then we're going to bring our gaze forward. We're going to turn our head to the right, making it slow. Bring the gaze forward. It's our breath in and our breath out. It's our turn to the left. Gazing forward, breathing out, and one more, gazing forward and breathing out. Bring the gaze forward, and then let the chin tuck down, and then just let the right ear sort of soften over towards the right shoulder. Trying to let that other shoulder relax. Sometimes you sort of want to lift up, so letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. And then we're going to let the chin float down in front of us. And then let the left ear melt into that left shoulder. Feel it wonderful lengthening through the side of the neck. And then we'll lower the chin back towards the throat and bring our gaze forward. Then we're going to start with the moving through the mindful movement. So it's a lot about gentle movements with breath. I'm just going to move myself a tiny bit further forward in my chair. So the first movement, just the hands could be down by the sides, and we're just letting the backs of the hands float up until they come about shoulder height, and then we just let them float back down. So this is our breath out. As we breathe in, the hands float up, and as we breathe out, we just let the fingertips, think about floating back down like falling autumn leaves. Let's do about 3 more of this movement. So inhale and exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more. And lowering. The next one is a version, a type of arm circle. So we're going to bring the hands back down by the sides. We're going to sweep our arms up. Now you could have soft elbows here so the arms don't have to be too sort of engaged. So soft, try and avoid the plants in your area if you need to. And then as the palms touch, we're cutting down, so like a cutting through illusion. So we keep the arms extended and we slowly lower those arms down through the body. Beautiful. And we'll take that in the opposite direction. So keeping the palms together, inhale, let the arms float back up. And then you can press the palms away and just let the hands float back down by the sides. Beautiful. We're going to do that 3 more times. So inhale, lift. Breathing out as we lower. Breathing in. It's a lot about moving as slowly as you can. Breathing out. Breathing in, gathering up. Lots of energy, of self-love, and then letting that draw down through the body, cutting through self-doubt, negative self-talk. Inhale, lift. Pressing away, expanding. Beautiful. We're actually going to do 1 more. Lift, gathering up. Palms touch. You can look up if you want to when your palms come overhead, and then allowing that float down. Beautiful. And then the inhale breath, lift up and open and expand. Beautiful. Let the hands rest by the sides, maybe a little shake out in the arms. Perfect. The next movement, a little similar to the first one, but we'll add in the feet and we'll move our arms, move the arms in the same way, but we'll add in the toes. So we're going to lift the arms all the way up. So before it was shoulder height, this time up overhead if that suits, and come up onto the toes. So inhale, feel a little bit of sort of a lift through that torso and float down. There we are. You're going to join in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. It's all right. Come on. Inhale. And twice more. Lift. lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, our next movement is our opening flower. Sorry, I'm dog sitting and my son's dog thinks that he should be fed right now, so he's telling me all about it. So our next movement, we're going to sweep the arms out to the side. So, and then bring the hands, so we'll start with our hands, just fingertips resting on the shoulders. And you can sort of create a little bit of a back bend here if that feels okay in your body. But what we're thinking about is, as we open our arms, we're like a flower with the petals shining up towards the sun. So it looks like this. Inhale, we're going to open the arms out, maybe sort of gaze up. And then exhale, hands come back to the shoulders. Inhale, open. And exhale. And you can even sort of start to round in on yourself if that feels comfortable. A little broadening through the back. We'll do 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. This is one of my favorite moves. Open. Expand, exhale. Twice more. Close. And this time, instead of bringing our hands to our elbows, we're going to open up and then we're going to wrap our arms around our body and give ourselves a great big hug. Let the chin tuck in towards the throat. Feel that expansion in the upper back. You can even sort of walk the hands around and sort of hook on to your shoulder blades. Sending yourself some love. One more breath here. And then inhale, open out. And one more hug. Wrap the arms around. So different elbow on top, maybe a tuck at the chin, little inner focus here. One more breath. And then gently hooking the hands, releasing the arms. Our next one is a pressing of the sky and a pressing of the earth. So you do you, figure out where you'd like to reach to. So we're going to reach up, press the sky. Now you might press down and press onto the knees, or you might like to press down a little further or even all the way down. So wherever it's comfortable for you to be reaching and lowering in your chair. So inhale is the reach up, extend, press the sky. So really sort of feeling that press, and then that you can even bring the hands down through heart center if that feels comfortable. It can support the back a little more, folding down, pressing the earth. To rise, if you're folded forward, you can sweep the arms out and up, rising up, pressing the sky, and folding down. So this might be your fold, pressing the earth. Let's do 2 more. Rise, breathing in here, lowering as we breathe out. One more, and we're going to stay in our, however our folded position looks. So that press, and then that fold down and press. Now wherever you are in that folded position, we'll just rise a little higher, and we're going to hold on to our elbows. So we are here, and that's sort of a bit hunched forward really. And we're going to do a little circle. So We're going to circle the elbows up and around, and we come back, and then we take it in the other direction. Now this might be very subtle movement. See what feels okay for your body. So a little circle. You might like to go a little further. Finding this movement here is quite perfect for my spine. You'll know what feels the best for you. So we'll do 3 more in each direction. If at any stage it's not comfortable for you, then you stop. Gently moving, breathing in and breathing out. And here I am, I'm finished. Perfect. Okay, we're coming back. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our heels to touch and just bring our hands to our heart. And we're just going to lift up. So try and see if you can wriggle the heels so they're together. And we're just going to lower. So this is a frog. You could do this standing. If you wanted to be a little more energetic, you could do a little lift up. But I think this is kind of our lift and lower. So trying to bring the heels together and then lowering them down. A little bit more fiddly. Okay, keeping that sort of engaging here, lifting up, bringing heels together, lowering down. We'll do 2 more. Lift and lower. 1 more. Lift and lower. And then a little pitter-patter of the feet to shake out the legs. Okay. So finding maybe scooting back a little in the chair, and nice. Then we're going to inhale to lift the right leg, and we're going to extend it out. So pointing the toes, bending the leg, lowering, and we're going to go from side to side. So lift, we're going to point, beautiful. Inhale, exhale. Now for this next one, so we're going to alternate between 2 slightly different movements. We're going to bring the leg up a little out to the side, and then we're going to flex the foot, lift and lower. So we'll try that on the other side. So lift, extend, bend, lower. Come back to the original one, lift, point, lift, lower, lift, point, lift, lower, hip open, extend, bend, lower, bring that back, hip open, just a little, bend, lift, lower. Let's do 1 more of each on each side, and trying to keep yourself lifted. It's easy to kind of get a little bit sort of lowered down, so trying to keep that engagement. Point, bend, lower, lift, point, bend, lower, extend and lower, open, extend, bend, lower, bring the feet back in. Okie dokie. Our next movement, we're just going to make it a little smaller than we would if we were doing this movement standing. So it's a little extension around. So hard to do in the chair. So a sweeping forward and a sweeping back. If you wanted to be a little further over towards the edge of the chair, depending on what feels good, you could make it a little bigger. But I think it's sort of easier. Just a circle round and a circle back. So it's a bit of a hip opener. Circle round, circle back, We have to stay on one side of this one, otherwise it gets a little confusing. Circle back. And that might also look a little bit more like this with a bent knee. So and we'll do one more. And sweeping that back in, and here we are. Here we are. Sort of like a half circle. And then if you want to, you can sort of bring yourself to a comfortable position on the chair, and you can do some actual circles with the knees, one at a time or both of them together. This is really nice if you're on a like carpet or a sort of tactile surface. You can feel how nice this is for your parasympathetic nervous system. So a little stimulation. There we are, both ways. Fantastic. Super duper. Okay. And bringing that back, a little shake out of the legs. Fantastic. Okay. For our next movement, we're going to come back to those contralateral movements, and we'll do a opposite sides and a bend and then an extend. So finding where it's comfortable on the chair, we'll start lifting the left knee and the right arm so it looks like this, bend, and then you might extend, and perfect, bend and lower, right leg, bend, lower, lift, extend, bend, lower, lift, extend, bend, lower. Let's do two more on each side. So bent leg, extension through fingers and toes, coming back to that bent leg, exhale down. So the breath in, the breath out, the breath in, breath out, and one more on each side. Extending, beautiful, and lower and lift, extend, bend and lower. And then we'll do maybe just a little wee scoot back in the chair, lifting up, lowering down. Don't have to go very far. Yeah, the arms don't even need to reach so far, so you might even just have them to shoulder height. Whatever feels good. Let's do two more of these. I feel like it's just bringing yourself back to your equilibrium, a little sort of centering. One more. Inhale, lift, and lower. Beautiful. Now we're going to move through a few gentle back bends just for a sort of a change. So, and then we'll do some cat-cows where we use the whole spine. But for this one, we're going to start with our hands at our waist. Find the waist under my layers. Okay, so hands at the waist. And it's just a very small movement. So you might sort of tuck your tailbone under. I might even go sideways to give a little bit more of a sort of better view. So we're tucking the tailbone under and expanding through the chest. So a nice stretch into the low back. Don't make it too sort of broad, too large. Just a subtle movement, so that little tuck and then coming back. Now we'll continue with that similar movement. This time, bring the hands like they're in your back jean pockets. And then you can press the hips a little forward. So you're pressing forward and finding just that little bit more expansion. So little tuck of the tailbone and an opening through the chest. Okay. and then come back. Perfect. And let's just try one more of each of those movements, or if you have one that you prefer, you can do 2 of those. So the little open here. This is a bit more subtle, this one. And then come back upright, find the back jean pockets, hands in the pockets, push forward, and just feel how that makes a bit of space in the back and opening. Perfect. And then relaxing. Now moving from here into a few cat-cow. So you might start with a little cat-cow movement, so little hips forward, and then rounding, open, and expand, and then rounding. You might like to make the movement a little bigger. You could add in some arm movements, so maybe an open with the cactus arms, so real expanding and broadening through the chest, and then you can bring forearms together and touch and feel that sort of expansion through the back of the body. So open through the front body, open through the back body. Or carry on with your hands down in that nice movement here. So you do you, choose what feels good. And then when you come back, rounding into your cat, then we'll start to do a few circles here. So the hips come forward and then back, the heart shines forward, navel to spine, finding that beautiful tucking in, drawing navel back, and then that opening, shining heart forward. Do 2 more little rotations in this direction. And then we're going to change and we'll go the other way. So rotating in the other direction. And this slightly sort of narrower stance with the feet is working into sort of a different area of the back. In a moment we'll walk the feet a little wider and we can really get more into the hips. So 2 more circles here. And last one. When you come back to center, if it feels okay for you, you can walk the feet out, finding a bit more space, feeling that maybe a little bit of lengthening in the inner thigh, and then nice. Notice how this sort of feels, sort of smooth in the hip area. If you prefer to stay in the other position, then you're welcome to. Listen to your own body and only move in the ways that feel comfortable and supported. Let's do a couple more movements in this direction. And then we're going to change it, we'll go the other way. Circling round. The gaze can be wherever it feels best. So you might gaze down, you might gaze up, somewhere in the middle. You can shut your eyes. Okay. 2 more circles. 1 and 2. And then keeping the feet where they are, coming back to center. Just feel that connection, so pressing the soles of the feet down. I'm going to find a little bit of lengthening through the side body. So bring the left hand to or the left forearm, sorry, to the left thigh. And we'll start with the right hand just resting on the right hip. So we're going to lift up out of that side. So finding length through the side. Feeling a bit of space being created in the side of the waist. And then if you'd like to make the movement a little stronger, you could bring your hand to rest on your shoulder. You could lift the elbow, move over a little bit more. You might even like to keep the hand sort of pressing into the thigh. And then if you want more room, cactus the arm, knowing that you can come back to the previous movement. And I'm going to stay here, but if you really wanted to create a whole lot more space, you could extend the arm overhead. So wherever you are, maybe you turn the head and gaze towards the right armpit. Don't forget to breathe, so letting the breath support you here. Send the breath into the side of the waist. And then slowly lifting up, bringing that to the other side. So forearm, hand, whichever place that arm feels comfortable for you. You might notice this is quite different on this side than the other side. So knowing what feels good, feel free to adjust the feet if this is not the right place for your feet to be. Lifting, extending there, sending that breath. Beautiful. Hand comes to that shoulder, little lift. Maybe you're finding that cactus arm. You can jump ahead to something a little more spicy if you want to. Maybe the arm extends. Wherever you are, you're going to turn and gaze towards that armpit. Beautiful. One more round of breath here. Lifting up, floating that hand back down. I'm going to walk the feet just a little closer. I'm going to bring the hands, we'll start clasping the hands, and maybe the forearms come together. You can do a little bit of softening into the wrists. So moving the clasped hands in a figure eight movement. So that sign of the infinity. Beautiful rotation. One more in this direction, reversing it, going the other way. Sometimes that makes you have a little bit of a blip, a mental blip there as you reverse directions. Okay, one more of these in this direction, then we're going to stop. We're going to unclasp the fingers and we're going to slide the hands along one, reclasp, figure eighting again. So figure eight. You've got sort of a funny clasp, we call it the non-familiar. Okay, and then going the other way, non-familiar, reversing the rotation. Sometimes that really makes you have to think for a moment. Perfect. Okay. Little shake out of the wrist. Do some gentle stretching into the fingers. So just press the palms away, pressing the palm towards one at a time, and we'll just do a little gentle extending. So I'm just sort of slowly bringing my little finger, then my ring finger back towards me. Taking your time, and then the thumb, going back, thumb, pointer, big finger. Feels quite nice all the way down into the palm of the hand, this one, and then bend the hand and just beautiful, nice stretch into the top of the wrist and pressing away, and we'll just do a press into the forearm. Take that to the other side. So left hand, little finger, ring finger, big finger, pointer, thumb, pointer, big finger, middle, top of the hand, top of the wrist, and all the fingers pressing. Beautiful. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. Let the shoulders soften down away from the ears. Just do a last little movement here, so pressing the palms together firmly, and then let the palms drift over towards the right and turn your head and gaze towards the left. Then bring that back to center and press it to the other side. So we're using a bit of resistance here, finding our inner strength. Okay, bring those palms back to center. Let the thumbs plug into the sternum, shoulders soften down. Beautiful. Rotating fingertips towards the floor, so rotating down, fingertips pointing down towards the earth. And then we're going to bring them back up. We'll do a little clasp and we'll press away. So we're going to find a big expansion through the back. And then a lift up towards the sky. And then unclasping the hands, float them down so you're finding a gentle twist towards the right. Bring the hands back up towards the sky. We'll take that twist to the other side. So floating down, gaze. You can use the hand on the thigh or hand on the chair if you want to find a little bit more rotation. It's really nice in our spine. Beautiful. And then we'll let the hands float back up. Just going to bring them down by the sides and find something to hold behind us so we can expand and open through the chest. So maybe the shoulder blades draw in towards one another. Little tuck of the chin. One more breath here. And then release. Bring the hands back to heart center. And we'll do that last bit once more. So non-familiar clasp, press away. Tucking the chin, drawing navel in. Lift up. Finding that twist, rotating round. Lifting up and taking that twist to the other side. Fingertips up and floating the hands down, taking hold of whatever behind you creates a sense of space in the heart, so broadening through the chest. Fantastic. And then release that hold, let the hands float down by the sides. We're going to finish with 2 rounds of our sun breath. So reach the hands up, palms touch. Bring those palms down through heart center. This is our exhale. Breathing in, fingertips towards the sky. Breathing out, floating them back down beside us. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Perfect. Let's do one more. Reaching up. Bringing them down. Fingertips towards the sky and floating back down by the side. Beautiful. Bring yourself back to your comfortable place in your chair. Hands can rest on the thighs. Just do one circle in each direction with the head. So roll the shoulders down the back to start. Drop the chin down towards the throat. And then slowly, very slow. If you have any issues with the neck, then don't do a full circle, just do a little semicircle so chin can come down. If you are feeling okay in the neck, then a really slow movement, circling round. And then we're going to take it in the other direction, so rotating round. Your eyes might gaze up and then out, back down, chin tucks in, gaze forward, last roll back and forward with the shoulders. And then coming back to where we started, so connection with the feet and the earth, feeling the chair supporting you. Gently closing down the eyes. Taking a few moments to allow the practice to be absorbed by the body. Let the feet soften, pressing down into the earth. Feeling soft and relaxed. Soften into the lower leg, the shin, the calf, the knee, the quad, hamstring. Let the whole leg grow soft, pressing down into the chair, relaxed and heavy. Feel the connection with the sit bones and the seat. Feel the body supported by your chair. Feel nurtured, supported, cherished. Feel the belly as it gently rises and falls with the breath. The spine lengthen. Soften into the low back, middle back, upper back. Shoulders melting away from the ears. Heart expands, radiating love out from the heart space. Breathing it back in. Feeling that sensation of joy, of connection, of love. Feel the length through the back of the neck, and softness in the throat. Relax the brow, relax the jaw, whole face, whole body. Comfortable, relaxed, at ease. As you breathe, feel the breath warming you, bringing a sense of nurturing, of love, of being cherished and connected. Breathe in a sense of peace, calm. Breathing in harmony, serenity, tranquility. Take a few rounds of breath here, sending love to your whole body. Sending loving energy to your whole being. One more long, slow breath here. Now feel once more that sense of grounding beneath the feet, that feeling of support, of stability from the earth. Feel the sense of calm from the breath. Gently now a little wriggle of fingers, a little wiggle of toes. Bringing the palms of the hands back to touch, rubbing them. Create some warming heat between the hands. Placing the warmed hands gently over the eyes, opening and closing the eyes behind the hands. Rubbing the palms once more. Covering the eyes. Blink, blink, blink. Taking your hands and wrapping them around your shoulders. Give yourself a great big hug. Sending yourself some love. Feeling nurtured and cherished. Unwrapping the arms, wrap them in the other direction. One last delicious hug. Saying to yourself, I am a wonderful human being. When you feel ready to release that juicy, delicious hug, bring the hands back to heart center, into our Anjali Mudra. You'll finish with one Om, taking a breath in. The love and light in me sees and acknowledges the love and light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.